Look, I reckon Caitlyn Clark is going to be even better coming into the season. Just look at her arms, for God's sake.
Caitlyn Clark just detonated a bomb in the WNBA, and this time it's not just her logo threes causing the tremors. Forget the impossible shots for a second. The real buzz, the hushed whispers, and the wide-eyed stares, they're all about her. Caitlyn Clark hit the offseason with a singular, relentless focus to forge a new version of herself, one built of pure power and explosive force. And what she's unleashed now? It's not just an improvement, it's a complete metamorphosis. She's not just stronger, she's looking like a whole new beast, and the league is about to feel the earth shake.
And Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. And they all jumped over her, but they didn't read the whole thing that she said. But nobody's printing. You know, Diana Taurasi was right. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make a statement.
Well, I mean, Geno Auriemma was talking about Caitlyn Clark and Paige being the same build. Yeah, they're not the same build right now.
So there's a hot topic going on right now. Caitlyn Clark says she got cheap shotted against the sky. I mean, throughout the season, she's been getting beat up. Hard screens, elbows.
All right, guys, we're starting a little TikTok weight room vlog. We're going to show you what we do.
Get the butt down.
Okay, speed. Okay, speed.
Wait, just before it.
Oh, she is strong. All right, guys, that's our lift. We are strong. Okay, we're actually strong. What?
Players on the planet right now. So Caitlyn Clark is one of the...
Remember those voices? The doubters, the skeptics, the ones who lined up to question if the college phenom could truly handle the WNBA's brutal physicality? Leading that chorus, perhaps most infamously, was UConn legend Geno Auriemma. He couldn't resist throwing shade, downplaying Clark's ability to absorb the hits, to withstand the relentless grind of the pro game. We'll see if she can take it, he smirked, that smug little dismissive routine. Well, about that prediction. It's aging about as well as milk left out in the summer sun. Turns out Caitlyn wasn't just ready for the hits. She was studying them, learning from them, and using them as fuel to ignite a transformation no one saw coming.
Play tougher on-ball defense, finish around the rim better, and frame. She worked really hard in this past off, add 8 pounds of muscle to her frame.
Like, her arms look a little bit bigger, but it's kind of hard to tell from there. Well, a lot of stuff yesterday, a lot of people were talking about it. Just how much bigger Caitlyn Clark has gotten. That's all people are talking about. So obviously, if you're looking at the picture with her with Serena Williams,
to give her an additional edge on the offensive and defensive ends of the court. And it clearly paid off because she was able to...
But like, how much bigger Caitlyn Clark's arms are than last year. It's mad. And we've seen it again more and more throughout this offseason. Like, pictures of Caitlyn Clark, just how much she is bulked up. And again, it's a sign of somebody that is very clearly working her way towards being, well, no longer the skinny guard that they said was nowhere, was not big enough.
Her rookie year wasn't just impressive, it was a full-on initiation by fire. Every game felt like a gauntlet. It wasn't just about dropping buckets, it was about surviving. She was constantly battling through a barrage of physicality, getting knocked off balance, shoved, hacked, and treated like a human crash test dummy by defenders. Names like Kennedy Carter, Dejanai Carrington, and of course, Angel Reese. They weren't just playing defense. They were delivering a masterclass in aggressive, borderline punishing basketball. If you didn't know better, you'd suspect there was an unspoken bounty on her head. But through it all, through the elbows, the hard screens, the constant pressure, Clark refused to yield. She never retaliated, never cracked. She just kept bouncing back up, draining impossible shots and making those who doubted her look utterly foolish.
Geno, baby, if Caitlyn Clark is on the team, it becomes the right team. Because Caitlyn Clark is on it. It's like saying Michael Jordan's not on the right team. It's the right team if Michael Jordan is on the roster.
And not only that, like Caitlyn Clark has I hope that Caitlyn Clark has not put on, because in fairness, she doesn't look like there's too much size being put on. But compared to last season, how much bulk she has put on. You would hope, again, for a Caitlyn Clark, because Caitlyn Clark is built like a soccer player.
I gotta ask you a basketball question. Yeah. I know that you work really hard in the off-season. You said yesterday you're always trying to get better. Mm-hmm. What's the thing that you're working on in this off-season?
I think, honestly, besides the actual basketball skill part of it, I think getting stronger. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm in the weight room a lot, just building that strength. Obviously, it was hard going right from the college season to the professional season. You don't get to spend a lot of time in the weight room. So that's what I've tried to focus on the most here. And then obviously, a lot of things on the court. I'm always wanting to get better, and that's kind of what drives me, and I love it. I love getting to do it, and I feel very fortunate that it's my job.
While some players used the off-season for vacations and relaxation, Caitlyn Clark treated it like a personal vendetta against the weight room. She attacked the gym with the ferocity of someone settling a score. And the results? Prepare to be stunned. The whispers started as murmurs, then grew into a roar. Leaked photos, training clips, and finally, the official reveal. A new Caitlyn Clark had emerged. Her arms, sculpted and defined, spoke of hours of relentless work. Her core, visibly strengthened, hinted at a newfound power. Her presence on the court, no longer just about dazzling skill, now radiated a commanding authority. It's like watching a Marvel superhero origin story unfold in real time. Rookie Clark was already a sensation, a walking highlight reel. Now she's playing bully ball with a grin, and the league is officially on notice.
So Caitlyn Clark in college was not the strongest player in the world. Like, she was somebody that wasn't weak by any means, but we saw when it came to the WNBA that she wasn't able to really assert herself physically. If you guys saw this workout has gotten a lot of people excited for Caitlyn Clark because she is like directly working on her weaknesses, which I think is a good look. Honestly, I think that's a really, really good look for her because, again, when we're seeing somebody working on their weaknesses and not the glamorous weaknesses.
Extreme pressure. Last year, Clark led the league in turnovers. Some of that, her teammates not being able to handle the heat on her passes. But a lot of it came from intense double teams and defenders swarming her every possession. So what's she doing? Working through it, sharpening her handle.
I would hope that bulking up, there are definitely times where that has caused more injuries. So I would be a little bit concerned for that, but there's not much of a concern. There's genuinely not much of a concern.
This isn't just about aesthetics. This transformation is rewriting her offensive playbook. The added muscle isn't just for show. It's pure, unadulterated power injected into her already lethal game. Remember those tough layups she used to miss, getting bumped off balance, losing control? Gone. Now she's finishing through contact, absorbing hits, and converting those previously contested shots with ease. Her coach, Stephanie White, has already highlighted the dramatic shift. Caitlyn isn't just more durable. She's a fundamentally different athlete. Faster, stronger, sharper. And now, she's not just enduring the physicality, she's delivering it. And yes, she's still launching those iconic logo bombs, but now she's doing it while defenders bounce off her like they've run into a brick wall. It's not just finesse anymore. It's force, amplified.
Like, considering whether it be WNBA in college, funnily enough, I don't think it's going to have effect on the pace that she plays at, because if you watch Caitlyn Clark play, the pace that she plays at is more here. Like, Caitlyn Clark is much faster here than she is like physically, and that's one of the things I don't think people really know. She's built like a long distance runner, like her natural build. She's got that elasticity that doesn't seem to really be too common. Like, there's not that much change of direction. She's just downhill at one speed. She doesn't put that much force through her legs, considering how...
But the shockwaves don't stop on offense. The whispers are also about her defense. No longer a perceived weakness, Caitlyn Clark is quietly but powerfully evolving into a legitimate two-way threat. Those days of opponents targeting her defensively, consider them history. She's visibly improved her lateral quickness, her defensive awareness, and crucially, her strength. She's holding her ground against quicker guards, muscling through screens, and sticking to her matchups with a newfound tenacity. She's refusing to be a defensive liability, and in fact, she's starting to flip the script, turning defense into instant offense with lightning-fast transitions. She's jumping passing lanes, creating turnovers, and proving she's not just a scorer, she's a complete basketball player.
With Caitlyn Clark, that's a really, really important thing. You can do it gradually. And I don't think she bulked up like a crazy amount. Like, she's not going to be physically destroying people. I just don't think she's going to quite get bullied as much as she did.
Let's break it down. First, ball handling under getting lower, faster, and more controlled. She's making sure those defenders won't even get a chance to trap her this time around. Second, her mid-range game. Everyone knows Clark can launch it from the logo or finish at the rim. But what about that awkward in-between zone? The one spot defenders tried to funnel her into? Not anymore. She's drilling floaters, working on pull-ups, and making sure she has a counter for every defensive coverage. Now, there's no spot on the floor that's safe to give her space. And third, finishing through contact. This is huge. Clark's never shied away from going to the rim, but last year, it meant taking hits. Some clean, some not so much. This offseason, she's taking that contact in practice, training with resistance, simulating game-like collisions so she's not just surviving them, she's finishing through them. And have you seen her arms? That muscle isn't just for show, it's part of the plan. Clark has fortified her game from top to bottom, making sure that when defenders come in with elbows, body checks, or slaps across the forearm, she's unfazed.
She's back in her natural habitat, back in the lab, playing basketball, and it's got to be a scary sight for the rest of the WNBA if she gets even better, because it's not as if she wasn't absolutely phenomenally elite as a rookie and arguably the best player in the league after the Olympic break.
This transformation isn't some happy accident. It's a calculated, strategic overhaul. Clark didn't just bulk up randomly. She targeted specific areas of her game that needed fortification. First, ball handling under pressure. Last season, turnovers were a concern, often stemming from intense double teams and swarming defenders. This offseason, she's been relentlessly sharpening her handle, getting lower, faster, and more controlled, making sure those traps become far less effective. Second, the mid-range game. Defenders tried to funnel her into that awkward in-between zone, knowing her bread and butter was the deep three or the drive. Not anymore. She's now drilling floaters, mastering pull-up jumpers, ensuring there's no safe space to defend her. And finally, finishing through contact. She's trained relentlessly to absorb contact, simulating game-like collisions. So she's not just surviving them, she's thriving through them. This isn't just about adding muscle. It's about eliminating any exploitable weakness in her game.
Like, there was a couple of times you could see her arms, you're like, okay, she's gotten a lot bigger. And I do like the fact that she, by the end of the season, she was taking people in the post a little bit more. And that's the one thing I like with Caitlyn Clark, is that not that she's got good post footwork, but she's got a good ability to kind of like bump with her left shoulder and then shoot over her right. That kind of layup hook shot. I think it's an inevitability that Caitlyn Clark is the first player to ever average a double-double in the WNBA with points and assists. I think she's going to likely set the record for assists per game in a season at some stage in her career. I think it's going to be a situation where maybe she's not the best player in the world straight away. Maybe she's not the best player in the world by game 10. But we can't forget last year that she just got better and better and better. If there's a scenario where, like, I don't think it's far-fetched to say Caitlyn Clark could average 23 and 10 next year.
The WNBA isn't just watching Caitlyn Clark's transformation. They're reacting to it. Analysts are already throwing her name into MVP conversations before the season has even tipped off. Coaches are scrambling to redraw defensive schemes, realizing the old playbooks are obsolete. Every team that thought they had her figured out is now facing a terrifyingly upgraded opponent. This isn't just about one player's individual growth. It's a seismic shift in the league's landscape. Caitlyn Clark is raising the bar, setting a new standard, and forcing everyone else to catch up. She's not just improving, she's changing the game itself.
The goal is not for Caitlyn Clark to be, realistically shouldn't be for her, to be the best player in the world tomorrow. The goal should be to be the greatest player of all time. And to be the greatest of all time, you don't have to be the best player in the world next year. The goal should be to fully cement yourself in that conversation next year. And then by year 3, make it so that the only argument, maybe the only argument against her being the best player in the world is A'ja Wilson herself. And then by year 4 or 5, when Juju starts to come into the league, when when Juju comes in, when Hidalgo come in, people are like, oh, these are the comparisons. I mean, no one's going to have those comparisons if at that stage Caitlyn Clark is coming off an MVP season and a title and is the best player in the league.
So, get ready. The WNBA is about to be hit by a storm named Caitlyn Clark. This isn't just another season. It's a potential explosion of highlights, record-shattering performances, and a complete rewriting of what we thought was possible. The league is bracing for impact, hoping to weather the storm. But for fans, for basketball lovers, this is pure, unadulterated excitement. Grab your snacks, find the best seat on your couch, and prepare to witness a show unlike anything we've seen before. Caitlyn Clark is back, stronger, fiercer, and more determined than ever. Are you ready? Let us know in the comments below what you think about Caitlyn's transformation. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the action. Click the video on screen to watch more, and we'll see you in the next one.